Making a reading journal is not for the weak. It is definitely a lot harder and more time consuming than I ever expected. I definitely underestimated like the effort, creativity, and time that making a reading journal takes. So I am going to go in depth about my reading journal. Here it is. I'll link this exact one in my description because I actually bought it from, however you say this little brand name, Papier. It's like a UK based brand, but they have the cutest freaking journals, planners, recipe books. Like they have such cute stuff. So I'm gonna link this specific one down below in case you really like it. This is what the back looks like. But this is my reading journal that I decided to start for the year of 2025 just because I've never had one. I had something similar to a reading journal last year, but I wanted to fully customize mine and make it like exactly what I wanted. So I've been working on this for quite a while now. It's taken multiple hours, multiple days. Trust me, if I knew how much time and effort this was gonna take, I would have started this back in October. No lie, like honestly, it's a lot of work. I do have most of it set up by now. It is like mid-February, so it's time. But I have a lot of my like yearly layouts already filled out. I'm still working on the January and February ones, so that's kind of what we're still working on. I do want to show you guys it like once I'm completely done, but I'll also show you guys me completing the remaining layouts that I have. But right now, I'm actually getting ready to go to IKEA because about 2 or 3 videos ago, I feel like I was explaining that I'm doing a little bit of a revamp for my little book room. It's not a whole makeover, it's not a whole redecoration or anything, but I do want to get a new bookshelf. This is currently the only bookshelf that I have in here, and I mean, it's great, I love it, but I think I just need another one because obviously I want to continue growing my book collection, and I do have some that I feel like it's just overflowing a little bit, so I want more bookshelf space. So I'm gonna go to IKEA right now and actually hopefully get a bookshelf. That was the whole goal. In the previous video that I mentioned, I went to IKEA, but the bookshelf did not fit in my car, and even if it did, I could not lift it myself. So I recruited some help. We're gonna go, bigger car, more people to help out, and hopefully they have it in stock and we can get that later today, and I can show you guys other things that I've been doing and buying to kind of redecorate or revamp. So that's what you guys have to look forward to. Got the goods, y'all, and I got a cinnamon roll, which I wanted last time, but I just wasn't hungry. I love their cinnamon rolls here, so I got one this time. They're literally like $1 or $2. I'm just waiting for my friend to pull up the car because it's pouring. Of course, the one day out of the whole year that it actually rains hard is the day that I need to be outside. A few days later, and the clips that you guys saw of me at IKEA were a few days ago, and I'm home now, and I'm happy to say that the bookshelf made it home perfectly, even though it was literally pouring rain and it barely fit in my friend's truck. It literally was like half of it was sticking out and it was pouring rain. So I was like, great, like this is gonna soak through the cardboard box, hit the wood, ruin my brand new shelf before it even gets home. But luckily, once we like kind of opened it up that night to make sure that the water didn't seep through, the wood was basically untouched, which thank you so much. So anyway, yesterday I kind of spent the whole morning building it myself, and I just want to toot my own horn because I did build it by myself. It didn't even take that long. It really was not hard at all. It was really big, but there's only maybe 5 or 6 parts that really needed assembling. And then once I was able to get it all up, I just like moved it into the place that it's supposed to be, added the shelves, and then slowly started to kind of add some stuff to the shelves to make it look like decorated. And now we have it here in the room. It's not behind me. This is the regular shelf that I usually have. I did change some things up a little bit because I moved a couple of books from here and added it to my other shelf, and the other shelf is now actually directly in front of me. And when I tell you guys I'm obsessed with it, like there's no joke there. Let me show you guys the new shelf. Alrighty guys, 1, 2, 3. Just look at her. She's so pretty. I obviously still have to kind of finish decorating her, but this is her for now. We just have so much room to grow and fill her up. Down here, I have a record player, which I actually don't even know how to use, and I only have 1 vinyl, so we have to learn how to use that. And then obviously there's so much room on the sides for more books. Here, oops, this is supposed to be upright. Hopefully that doesn't fall. But again, so much more room. These books are borrowed from my friend. I do have a candle. This is a candle, but it looks like a freaking plate of Fruit Loops and it smells so good. Here we just have some book of the month books and then 2 of my favorite books. Here we have a little bit of romance and romantasy, a Jellycat, and then just some more random books to fill up the shelf. Here we have my Kristen Hanna corner, some Lauren Asher Dreamland Billionaires, more decor. And then we have some classics up here. We have The Great Gatsby and 3 copies of Little Women. This plant is fake, which is so cute, and it's also from IKEA. So basically the whole shelf is from IKEA. The plant is as well. And then this was also an addition that I added yesterday. It's a print that I got for my birthday, and I'm just so obsessed with it. It is so cute. And then moving on over to this side, this is a print that I also got. I'm trying to get it without the glare. But it's just a little like romance tropes type of print in a really cute frame. And then this is like the OG shelf. I still have my Addicted series, Magnolia Parks, a lot of Berkeley romances, Carly Fortune, Emily Henry. We have the Chestnut Springs series. Down here we have Abby Jimenez and Taylor Jenkins Reid. Here we have high fantasy and some thrillers. And then down there we gotta work on that. That's a little book room update. Now I want to show you guys my journal since I think it's finally time. I've made a ton of progress on it, like multiple days worth of progress, multiple hours, because again, this has taken me so much longer than I thought it was. But basically I want to fill up the kind of February spread with you guys, and then at the very end I'll kind of go through the entire journal itself and show you guys my spreads. So I'm basically all caught up. I did January. I just need to do February and then add kind of my TBR and then maybe kind of start the layout of like where I'm going to put my stats for the month once the month is over. Let's get started on the February spread. Okay, so I'm looking at like different inspo and I had screenshotted some, so these are kind of what we're looking at. Sorry if you can't really see it, but I don't know, just something cute like this for the February spread. Again, I'm not like the best at being like artistic and creative, so I'm gonna attempt one of these and then obviously we'll see how it turns out. But I'm excited hopefully to be able to recreate something like this, just because obviously Valentine's Day is in February, so we're definitely going with more of like a pink, red, love theme. Let's see what happens. When I said this takes me so long, I was not lying. So I finally got my February spread and I'll show you guys this now, even though like I mentioned towards the end, I'm gonna do like a full flip through of every single spread in here. So this is the February one. I just went with some like candy hearts and then I had a bunch of just like love stickers, hearts. So I added those. And I do have here my February TBR. So this is what I picked with my February like TBR jar, picks my reads for the month. So I think I'm gonna cut these out and place them on here. I don't know if they're all gonna fit. Yeah, I think this is too many. Next time I'm for sure gonna go with smaller pictures. This is just my first time, so I wasn't sure how big the pictures could be. But now that I'm seeing they're a little too big. Actually, I think for January I did a whole, no, okay, I thought I did like 2 pages of TBR and I didn't. So I think I might do that for now, for like today's, just because I do have so much room and like, even if, like, I'm not gonna fill up this whole journal, I don't think, by the end of the year. So we're gonna do a 2-page spread for our February TBR. Alrighty, y'all, the time has come. I finally finished updating my reading journal for 2025, and I'm gonna show you guys all the spreads, kind of what ones I have, why I chose them, what they look like, what my plans are, all that good stuff. I think now it's gonna be more manageable doing like monthly ones versus trying to do all of my like tracking overview pages that you'll know what I'm talking about in a second here. But let's just dive right in because I'm ready to show you guys. Okay, so first we are going to start with a flip through and then I will go in and talk about them each individually. But first I'll just show you guys kind of right off the bat what it looks like. So again, I'm gonna go a bit more in depth here. This is the reading journal. I got it from this place. And I just put my initials on here, and it is a dotted notebook. You open it up, it just kind of looks like this, blank page, and then here we have 2025 and it says reading journal, so that we know, of course, this journal is for and then what it is basically. And then I just added some stickers and whatnot. Like the title says, 25 books on here that I would like to read this year. I already went and crossed off some of the ones that I read in January so that we are all caught up. But basically just 25 different books that I would love to read this year. Hopefully I get to them. Then on here we have our goals for the year. I'm blocking some off because these are personal goals that I just want to keep for myself. But this is all reading related goals. So the first one here is read 60 books, and then the other ones are a little personal. Okay, next up is our 2025 overview. So anything and everything, like if you want a glimpse into my reading year, this is what you would flip to because it gives you all of the information. Here we have every single month this year, and I already went ahead and filled out the January template. So we have the number of books I read in January, which was 8. The 5 stars that I had 1, 3 different genres, 0 DNF'd books, 4 new books. I read 6 physical ones, 1 ebook, 1 audio, and 7 different authors, which is pretty interesting. I did read 2 Frederick Bachman books, so that's kind of, you see the difference here. Again, a quick overview of my month. Then here we have just a reading tracker overall, pretty simple. So every month down here, and then numbers up to 13 because I don't think I've ever read more than like maybe 8 or 9 books a month. So I gave myself some extra wiggle room and went up to 13. For example, January here, you can see I read 8. So I just colored it in and went up to 8. I'll continue to do that as the year goes by. Again, just more washi tape, little stickers here, bookish stickers and whatnot. On our next page, we have our monthly faves. So this again will be my favorite books of each month. So I don't actually have the little book cover printed out for me to put here just yet for January. So this is really the only thing that's missing. Other than that, again, quick little overview. You'll be able to see the 12 books that I loved this year once I'm done with it. On the right side here is my nonfiction TBR. So this is memoirs and educational books that I would love to get to this year. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books. So all of these nonfiction ones. I think I have a goal of maybe 10 nonfiction reads, so if I get all of these, then I'll reach my goal. Nonfiction books are very educational sometimes, and some of the best books that I've ever read are memoirs. So these ones I'm sure will certainly leave an impact on me if I ever get to them, fingers crossed. Next page, oh my god, this is probably my favorite page. It's the reading bucket list. So there's like, I don't even know how many squares on here, but they all have different little prompts and premises. For example, a red cover, a book club pick, a new author, a 5-star, a DNF. So after every month, I'm just gonna go in here and probably like I don't know exactly how I'm gonna make it so that I haven't filled out this one for January because I don't really know what to do if I did do it. I don't want to like ruin it because it's just so pretty. So I'll figure that out and then I'll start like crossing them off or whatever the case may be once I have done it. Tearjerker, 600 plus pages, sci-fi, real person on a cover, sit on an island. So just different little prompts that will make my reading fun this year. And it's just fun to look back and see like which ones I hit once the year's over. But again, this one is so fun. This one I mostly decorated with like colored pencils and crayons because I didn't want like too much marker bleeding onto like the past pages. Luckily we were able to avoid that by using mostly like crayons and colored pencils. And I actually really enjoyed like using those because I have not used those in such a long time, probably like obviously years. So this one is kind of fun and interesting. And then next page we have format and alphabet challenge. So another overview for 2025. This is the different formats that I'm hoping to hit this year. So we have paperback, hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. Again, already went and kind of filled out some of the boxes for my January reads. And again, once the year goes on in February, I'll go in and just color a box in the corresponding format. Then over here we have the alphabet challenge. So A through Z, the title of the book, for example, A Man Called Ove starts with A. B, Better Than the Movies. We have the favorites for T and Promise Me Sunshine for P. I did read, I think 8 books in January, but obviously they're not all reflected on here because some of them did have these same letters. I'm not gonna add them, but all the ones that have different letters, I'll be adding. So hopefully, I mean, I know these are gonna be really hard to get, but we'll just see what happens. Next page is
my series tracker. So I have all the series here that I'm currently in the middle of, and as I start more series throughout the year, I'll just kind of fill in this blank space. Over here I have Game of Thrones, Powerless, Chestnut Springs, Addicted series, Lakefront Billionaires, Empyrean, Better Than the Movies, Beartown, and the Ruinous Love trilogy. Again, I went ahead and just kind of filled out the ones that I have already read, so that way I can kind of visually see like what's left in each series. Addicted series is by far my longest with like 10 books, I think, and I'm more than halfway done, so hoping to finish this up this year. Realistically though, hoping to finish up all of these this year. We'll just kind of see how it goes, but I definitely, some of these are on my anticipated like releases and on my list for 25 books to read in 2025, so hopefully I get to knock out majority of these, if not all. Next up is my borrowed books page. This one is really funny. It's just for like anyone who borrows a book from me. I'll just write down the title, who's borrowing it, and the date borrowed, just so that I can kind of keep track, and if like something goes missing or I have no idea where a book is, I can just kind of reflect on this and see if anyone is borrowing it, just to jog my memory. And then over here we have book ranking. So this one, I wouldn't say is repetitive, but it is obviously one that like would be reflected in the monthly faves page, but this one's interesting because at the end of the year I'll be able to put a picture here of my favorite book of the year. So for January, and I have the little initials of each month on the side here, we pick the favorites. February, I'll obviously pick my favorite book of the month, then I'll like have these two go against each other, pick one favorite from here, and then so on. But again, it's just so fun to be able to actually see this visually and like physically, so I think that's really the goal of this reading journal. Next page, we have 2025 new releases. So I have a bunch on here already that are like really anticipated releases for me, and then I already actually put some on here that I read, so it's just a little question mark, did I read it, and then I'll fill it out if I did, the release date, and then the title of the book. I have 17 on here so far and probably gonna add more. We have room to add. Next up is my monthly wrap up. So this is kind of, we're done with the yearly templates. We're going into every month our little wrap up pages. So here we just kind of have like an introductory page for our monthly wrap ups. Here we have our January spread. So this is kind of the cover page for the month of January. Next up, we have our January TBR. So these printed covers are all the books that I had on my TBR. These are kind of some of the stats that I had from the month of January, and then books read are going to be on the next page. Here we have all the books that I read in January, the titles of the books and their ratings. And then here we just have some more space. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with this empty space yet, but hopefully I get some inspiration and I will fill this out. If not, I'll always just add like some cute stickers and a quote, maybe my favorite quote of the month. That might actually be a good idea to fit on here. Next up, we have our February cover page. So this is what you guys saw me working on, and yes, it probably took me over an hour. I am very happy with the way it turned out though. I think it's so cute. It just says February. Oh my god, I was like, did I spell that right? That would be terrible, but I basically just spelled it out in some like candy hearts type of style, and then added a bunch of washi tape and some more like heart Valentine's Day stickers. And then if we turn the page, we have our TBR. So these are all the books that I picked out for the month of February. Thank you to my little TBR jar. So we have 6, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books on here. And again, easy to see visually. And then when I turn the page, it's blank, so we're done. But I am gonna have kind of like a stats page overall, kind of like the January one, and then probably a page of like the actual books that I ended up reading. But since we're still in mid-February, I haven't done that, but I finally at least got to show you guys what I have so far.
I'm very excited to have this done. I will keep saying how long this took me because I can't believe it. You know what? Let me sit in front of my new shelf. Okay, we'll probably have to figure out some better lighting for this in the future, but that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed, at least got some inspiration. If you have any tips and tricks, let me know, and I will continue filling this out. I will probably be giving you guys updates as well. Probably not a whole dedicated video like this one to the reading journal, but maybe throughout like my reading vlogs, you'll probably see me kind of updating my monthly wrap-up pages and my like yearly template pages. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something from it. Very happy to have a new shelf. I think she's so pretty. Can't wait to decorate it, sit in front of this for future videos. But I think that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.